So I'm going to start by going through some ideas that I developed through using disposable coffee capsules. This material is something that I've used throughout a lot of my work, and it just comes down to sitting with a handful of waste materials and really hand manipulating and coming up with ideas. And again, it's all about making them mistakes and seeing what comes from them. So I'm just here using some, I call them units that I've developed from the capsules, and building and building and building and linking the capsules in certain areas to develop shape. And from this shape you develop texture and structure, so you can really think about the journey of your garment and where you want your garment to end up. This is really what you want to be thinking about at this stage, is what's the outcome you want to achieve at the end of this. What does your garment look like? What shape, what structure, what silhouette, what texture? Because in the development of these textile will determine the outcome of your garment. The textile that I'm developing in the video is inspired by the coral reefs. So think about the corals, think about the shape, the colours that they represent, and you can see with the way I'm working this material, that's what's coming to life. So think about that when you're working with the materials yourself. Also, don't be satisfied straight away. Keep on working into the material, keep on developing it, keep on making mistakes, because you'll just notice bit by bit it'll keep on improving and getting closer to the goal you want to achieve. This next textile idea, I'm working again from the same materials, disposable coffee capsules. Here it's a plain pattern textile. I want to show, taking that apart, I'm introducing colour and shape and lines, different directions, and thinking about the body at the same time and where them lines are going to lie on the body. You develop a whole new texture and a whole new impact. So when you're working with your materials, think about, what can I combine with this? What other colours can I introduce? What other materials could I introduce? What shape, direction, pattern can I introduce into this textile to cause more of an impact and get closer to the goal I want to achieve and the garment that I want to bring to the stage? This also shows how the same waste material can be used in different ways. By playing around with it, again making mistakes, trying, you're coming up with new ideas. And here it's just me playing around with that same textile that you've seen flat and reworking it and building it in a different way and developing a whole new shape and structure with that. Just continuously trying, building and building and seeing what's coming from that, what new life can be formed through this material. So here you can see the shape that's been developed, the texture in that, the colours, all play a big part in this textile. And this is what development is. It's having an idea and not being satisfied with that idea straight away. Rework it, rebuild it, and test and test. So for this segment, I'm using the same material, but I'm combining another material, which is the leather offcuts. And this is just part of the trial and error phase. It's getting materials, combining them, and testing them to see if they do work. And they might offer a potential, and they might offer an idea which is going to lead me in a different direction, but it's that idea of trying, combining the materials and see the outcomes from that. This is something that just has to be done throughout all of your development process. Don't feel restricted, just be free, just go with it, don't think too much, just work with the material and just move fluidly and see what happens. Just don't get too restricted. I think you start losing your patience, and that's when you just miss an idea which could be there, so just keep at it. Working on that trial and error phase that you've seen on the previous clip, I discovered some other potential for these coffee capsules. So I've removed the leather now and I've gone back just to the coffee capsule, and I'm testing this idea and it seems to be coming together. So this is something I haven't worked on before, so it's testing here before you. And as you can see, it's creating something like really interesting. It's creating shapes, creating dynamic, and something that can create develop a pattern. And this just came from a mistake which I didn't know about before, so it just shows how I was using something that was completely different and now it's creating a whole new textile here. This next clip is working with plastic bottles to develop a textile. So here I've collected plastic bottles, cut them up and linked them together to develop a textile which almost looks like a sea life creature. There's lots of potential with this textile. You can create depth, colour, layering. So even by combining different colour plastic bottles, layering them in with the transparent bottles, that create depth and colour and pattern. Shape and structure can be created by using the materials in certain ways. This could be by linking it, tying it, attaching it to certain body parts, intertwining different alternative materials into the plastic bottles. This will create texture. Here I'm introducing an old scarf that's been taken apart, introducing that to this plastic textile, which is creating texture, giving it a whole new life and bringing a lot of movement to the material. So I hope that's gave you some new ideas, some more inspiration and motivation moving forward. If you have any questions regarding materials you're thinking of using, some obstacles that might be in your way of using that material, feel free to reach out and I'll get back to you right away. Good luck and I'll see you next week.